just turn this off now. Okay, so Dhaarma, thank you very much for talking to us today. I just wanted to get a little bit of your philosophy about hockey, and you're coach of the national team for Malaysia now. So what are the critical factors in creating a winning hockey team?
For me, I think in Malaysia, it's like from the time I was like in a junior team, it was always like to create a big pool of players. In Malaysia, it's like we always have like a small pool of players.
Yes.
Who have already like predetermined that there's no one else that can take their spot. So when they come and train, they always give whatever they have, and they will never want to like be better than what they are. So when in the junior team, means like when I came from the junior team, I think I've called up like 200 players. I think.
Wow.
In the duration of like 4 years, it changed the culture in Malaysia, saying like players who perform well, even in a champion team, when we won in a Johor Cup, top the player who's like don't improve, and giving like new players like chances like to get into the team. I always want to like create these things.
Yes, yes.
As I get the chance now, okay, by whatever reason, like Paul was not well, and then I was been appointed as the chief coach. Again, I try to like create the same atmosphere in the national team by creating a bigger pool of players.
Yes.
Yes, we have like a couple of players who are like injured, a couple of like senior boys who are actually rested them for this tournament. I still get a lot of like criticism from the media and from the public, saying that players are not ready. Why am I like giving people youngsters, or is it because I'm the junior coach? I've taken all the junior boys like to the national team. I think that Malaysia need to solve this problem. We have a bigger pool of players, which is, for example, like each time we go to Australia to play.
Yes.
I see like every day is every single time we play against different kind of players, they're almost like similar to the top players.
Yes, yes.
See, whatever happens, that the team, one is like they have replacement immediately. Two, their top players will never be complacent with what they have, because they know that someone is coming after their place.
Yes.
And they will keep like going and trying to be better and better. Is it? So if we never able to produce this kind of group or this kind of environment in the national team, it's very difficult for me. That is my philosophy of thinking, that players will think that they just play, just go.
No.
See, Malaysia has got that tendency. A lot of players is like not world-class players. We've been in the national team for a long time.
Yes.
I was a player before. I played in the Olympics.
Yes.
So I know it's what is like required in the national team, and I know what you have given as a player in the team, how much it actually values to the team.
Yes.
Okay, if we have no other players, then we have to use you.
Yes.
If we create an environment like, okay, you know that there's like younger guys is coming, you have to like make sure that you keep yourself like at that top level, and if your performance drops, I have to like leave you out. Okay. But in Malaysia, it's like not that way.
Okay.
This guy is a big player. He played 10 years, he played 7 years. You can drop him, you can't drop him. You have all that kind of issues. Even the guy who came to Australia for trials, a German player with a Malaysian ID. His father is from Malaysia, he's from Penang.
Yes.
And then his father has left Malaysia to live in Germany and married a German girl. And this guy, when he's born, the father has taken him back to Malaysia, gave him ID, got everything in place. People still criticize me for giving that guy a chance to play. He had played for Germany like 28 times or 30 times.
Yes. Yes.
And now he says he wants to play for Malaysia.
Okay.
I mean, we took him to, he came for trials in Australia. But I mean, the guy who came from just off from the plane, who don't even know the player's name, just play his first match, and he can have a good game, he must be a player.
Yes.
But that is also is like an issue. What I'm saying is, environment must be similar to like what Australian environment is. We have like big pool of players, you're not up to mark, not fit, not focused, we'll just leave you out of the team. As well as like we're going. So even here in Atlanta, with youngsters, I think they're not too bad. I mean, the goalkeeper is like 2 months old. We have 2 goalkeepers who are 16 years in the national team. Gap between 16 years and like 2 months old.
Yes.
Both the goalkeepers are junior goalkeepers, and both the senior goalkeepers said they have injured, they can't play.
Yes.
So the people are saying that I have to get one of the senior goalkeepers to play.
Yes.
So that kind of issues that is like going on.
Okay. In the modern game, we have a lot of emphasis on the short corner. How important is it to have a specialist drag flicker?
For me,
yes.
I mean, drag flicker, I mean, for short corners, drag flicker thing is, I'm a maniac. Okay? And try to develop in the junior team and trying now to develop in the senior team is don't believe in having 1 or 2 top flickers, like what is happening those days in Malaysia. Try to create that. We have like 7 or 8 guys who actually like, can be a drag flickers, like the Germans. Okay, this squad actually, this young Malaysian squad, we have actually like 6 or 7 guys who are actually training to be a drag flickers, flicker.
Yes, yes.
Okay, it's just how much time do they need to like establish themselves that we don't know. But we have got 6 or 7 flickers actually in this squad.
So
the thing is that we
place a lot of emphasis on this, obviously.
we spend a lot of emphasis because we look at like the Germans. I mean, short corners is almost like in every match you see is 90% of the goals in the match is actually coming from corners.
Yes.
So every player is like if they're able to be a drag flicker, I mean you can be the main drag flicker guy or you can be the second flickers who play the side roles.
Yes.
You have from the set pieces you can do 90 degrees or the ball playing to number 2 or number 3. It is easier to score from number 2 or number 3 before you become a main flicker. But they also give you like more options in the penalty corner. Your penalty corner attack would be stronger. And for me, I think very seriously about short corners attack and defense. Even like naming players in the team, people have roles able to do good roles in short corner attack and short corner defense. Are always given priorities. I always tell players is that in attack and in defense, you must be having a role. If you don't have a role, another guy have a role, they will take that guy instead of you.
Yes.
So you have to like to make yourself especially as a postman, as a first runner.
Yes.
Okay, even in a short corner, pushers, stoppers, flickers. For me, is all very important.
Okay. This actually comes a little bit to my next question.
Yeah.
These days we have the team, so now you bring 18 players into a tournament. You play 16 in the game. In the selection, so you start out with this big pool of players which you're developing.
Yeah.
So you have this big pool, and then some players they more or less select themselves. The next ones you choose carefully, and eventually you get right down to the bottom, and you've got 1 place left, but you have 2 people that you're thinking of putting into this 1 place. How do you choose that final 1 person, one over the other?
Okay. The one over the other is like we always like first we'll go is into like short corners. Okay, we'll look at your responsibilities. How much is like we need you.
Yes.
Okay, like example like today we have like main flicker is like not he won't be there. Okay, can you like get into this position to be a drag flicker or even or to be you are a runner or a postman? These things is what we will look into it. That's the first thing we look into it. Second thing is we'll look at you is like how many positions can you play? Are you mobile as a player who's like number 18, which is actually you don't have like a fixed position. You might be able to be thrown out to be a forward, or you'll be thrown to midfield, or thrown to like in defense for a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Versatile players. So that will also like come into considerations. And then like maybe younger player compared to older player who have whole like, 18 players. But for me, in Malaysian team, what I expect to have in Asian games, like from now going to Asian game, my number 18 player should be as good as my number 8 player in the team. Like how Australia and Germany has. We will always have like issues with National Sports Institute. People will come and test our fitness test and everything. And always like have argument with them saying that team is not fit. You can see them playing in a tournament like in the Junior World Cup. They came to semi-finals. They said the team is not fit, not able to play back-to-back games. Yeah. Well, in the Junior World Cup, in my opinion, they have like 4 players who are actually from the national team who plays every match 70 minutes.
Okay.
We cannot afford to take them out. They are key players. Okay? They are short corner flickers, they are postmen, they are first runner, and they are strong players. When these players don't play, over there there'll be an impact.
Yeah.
So when these 4 players go on playing 70 minutes, 70 minutes in this modern hockey, and you come into the last game or second last game, you will see them as like a different player already. That will happen. So today we say is like instead of saying that we have to get our players to be fit, why don't we think about like making sure that we got 18 solid players. Every player can go in and out so freely that we can have a balance of time. It's like the Australian team. They just put the roster up there, and then when the changes has been done, it's just like following the roster. You don't need to see that you are playing well, you're not playing well, which is all over. Those days we say that, oh, you're not playing well, we'll take you out. We have a roster saying that who goes in, who goes out. You have a break, you have a breather, you're coming back again. Same tempo is like going on. So that's the beauty about Australian team. So we're trying to like create that kind of thing. Malaysian team never had like 18 solid players in the team. I always have like 2-3 players in the team like playing very small roles.
Okay. So, okay, you've selected your players, you got down to the last 2, you've got the last 1 player, he's in the 18. Malaysia, sometimes in the previous years, they have a bit of problem with their self-motivation. And maybe the coach has to motivate the players as well. How do you motivate those players?
For Malaysia, it's like motivating players is like very, very important. So, I mean, the culture in Malaysia is like when you play against like easy games, easy teams. For example, like in today's game, if the motivation is like not there.
I'm not sure about easy teams today.
The name of China is always
the name is easier, but
easy,
they play some good games.
Chinese, the way they're playing here is
dangerous.
Just saying, assuming if it's Chinese is like how the normal Chinese is. They just said you don't have a good tournament here. And Malaysian boys like go into a match if they're not prepared, mentally or not motivated to play. That's why always like we will have like poor results against this kind of teams that we will be draw on a game or we lose the game because of like players are not motivated and not focused to play. So that's why it's like when we play against like smaller teams, we have to spend time like making sure that in our team meeting we are like serious. We keep reminding the players it's like how important the match is. Never like take any teams like for granted. Okay, you have to like keep on with the big teams and everything that we play against Germany or Australia. Boys are automatically motivated because they know they're playing against like big teams. And they know that it's like a small chance for them, and then they will go and give their best. Yes, sometimes it's difficult for us to beat them, but at least they will give a good show up. And we don't have to really spend time motivating them on that kind of matches compared to the smaller
lesser teams.
Lesser teams.
Okay, so now you've got your motivated players. Sometimes you have a problem on the field. Somebody hits a chair with a stick, maybe, as recently happened. Maybe you have to criticise a player. How do you, as a coach, then talk to those players and put them straight when they're doing something wrong?
No, I mean, like in Faisal's case, for example, it's like immediately after the match, I was saying to him, it's like, sometimes in the match, his top-level international match, you're trying to say to us now, what is your incident and you do today is could be costly to us. Maybe at this moment of time you're enjoying yourself after the win. When you get up the next day morning, you realize if you're suspended, you let the team down. Or we have to like readjust, we have to like do a lot of things. Like at one time we have this issue about people just simply collecting card and just go off and then allowing people to play with 10 men and 9 men because you cannot control your temper and you go out, the team suffers. So now it's coming to another part is like you're getting yourself into unnecessary problem and you're suspended in international matches. You make the team like okay, whether it's like you can be a player, big player who have a bad day, but now it's going to be that we have to play with lesser one player, and other players have to put in more energy to cover that one space now in this rolling substitution. So we have to we have one injured player now. Okay, we didn't even play against Canada. We don't know whether he's able to play. He had ankle injury, trying to get in there. And just imagine if we get suspended now. This is immediately after the match. I was saying that we have two players gone. Third is the goalkeeper is gone. As a second goalkeeper, we have only four reserve.
Yes.
To do the rolling.
Okay.
And you know how much that's
still got a while to go.
For that particular match, it's just assuming today we play Australia.
Yes.
Okay, we have Faisal off. Okay, whether Faisal is a big player or small player, we just consider one player is off,
yes.
One player is injured. We have four reserve playing against a machine who's keep coming and coming and coming. You need the energy.
Yes.
So don't you think that you feel guilty about it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this morning he came and he was saying, Coach, I'm sorry. He's actually here. I mean, I watched the clips. I see a lot of off-ball things that the Canadian guys were doing towards you, and then maybe you feel that he should have been getting cutted earlier instead of you getting cutted because of whatever he has done to you. Empire didn't see. It's just that you do not have the intelligence. Why they say in halftime guys are stupid enough. Before the match, we have already told you that they touch you.
What do you expect? Yeah.
Just fall.
You played them already in a few tests.
Yeah, we played them in the 3 test match in Malacca, and they were doing the same thing. You just need to fall. What's the point of fighting against them? But when you fall, the crowd will oh, and Empires will feel they have to put him on control. They will send him off, send the Canadian off what they did in the second half. Why didn't they do it in the first half? Okay, never mind. Today, the media guys called just now after Faisal was suspended, and then they were saying to me do you think that it's a lesson for him and for the future tournaments, for the World Cup or Champion Challenge 1 and everything? So I just say I don't want to give a comment in the newspaper because you guys is you're trying to make me run down my player. These things have been done in a closed door meeting. Settle these things in house. If you have a comment to say on your own, you just say it. You use my name to say it. So I mean, players have already in the morning when they come, they feel bad. And we have a psychologist in the team, and just send him to speak to the psychologist after when he was suspended. Try to talk to the psychologist to tackle him. Finally, he's a brilliant player, but on this part about him is getting off his mind so easily. So in Malaysia, it's also a new culture to have psychology being attached to the team and trying to speak to the players. And we have this disturbed kind of players that we can let the psychologist who's expert to tackle them. Yeah.
Dhaarma, I think we're going to have to wind that up now. I know you've got a place to go as well. So thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate your comments there. And good luck with the game today and with the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.